but I think I use Link's shoulder for one clip, which is kind of weird.
Oh, which clip is it?
The Batcave clip. Oh, and we are beginning. A bomb upgrade inside the house.
Looks like both people are heading over to the Lake Hylia Island, maybe? Maybe Sarshala? Oh, no, it's the Lake Hylia Island. We only got bombs in here.
Espeon going for a couple of kills on the way up, probably setting up a tree pole. Getting that nice early Sahasrahla check.
Yeah, definitely not the worst idea. I think I saw that in a race also this week, in this round, where the early Sahasrahla almost won someone the game immediately.
And we find the gloves, which opens up the back of Escape almost immediately right here from Sanctuary. I imagine Christos might actually just dip in there real quick, get those 3 chests before heading into Kakariko.
We also found out that the green panel is hiding in Skywoods.
I guess that's okay. Get a map check. We've got a red crystal on Hera, blue pendant on Desert, and a regular crystal on Eastern. And we got a bottle and some money in the back of Escape. Bottles are kind of nice, not so much for a lot of things. You can use them to buy a blue potion and then fake flute around the world, which can be pretty helpful since that also works in the Dark World.
I also think, personally, this is a nice pickup very early on in Overworld glitches, because you can just check the sick kit while you are on your first trip to Kakariko, and like usually you end up almost never coming back to check that, unless you have the mirror, you are in Village of Outcasts, but if you don't happen to have the mirror, that's like a really off location in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. Or you just wind up having to spend a blue potion to get it, which is not ideal.
Yeah.
Although, interestingly, you wouldn't have to necessarily do it in the light world. You could actually fake flute in the dark world and then go check sick kid, since it is that overworld screen that you flute to.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're already kind of doing that, I guess it makes sense to route it in.
It's just all kinds of little things you can think about.
I think that was the tier 2 triple here on Espeon's side.
Yeah, he's been killing some things, so that's good. And with the bomb upgrade on Lumberjack, we are probably not seeing Aga today.
Yeah, it's very unlikely in this mode, since really almost the only time you do that is if something is in Lumberjack Cave.
Not too much of worth in the Lost Woods here. And we've got enough money to go pay the bottle vendor, so we're not too worried about cash at the moment. Especially not these little bits of change here and there. We want the big bucks.
Yeah. So Chris is also getting his tier 2 triple here.
Espeon, yeah, I think he went for another one, which is pretty nice for all his bombs. And now that we've got a bottle, we're going into Kakariko and seeing what all we can do here. It's going to be interesting to see which way the runners go after Kakariko. You could wind up going down to Desert, or saving and quitting back to Sanctuary, so you could go check out Death Mountain, or do the South Loop with the mini Moldorm Cave.
When we find the hammer here in Blind Hideout.
Doesn't actually open up as much as you would think. Certainly a lot less than the no major glitches runs that are typically done.
I think it's still nice to have as an early weapon, especially like in this mode when you enter the Dark World and you still have no sword. Maybe it's kind of not nice to run around searching for the hammer.
Well, that, and it's also very nice to be able to kill Moldorm.
Yeah. Got the single arrow in the Kakariko well, some half magic, and the cape.
We are Pearl away from being able to check Spike Cave. Oh, and Christos selling the B, so he gets a nice free 100 rupees. That's one of those little things you never really think about, that the fact that you can sell the B if it's one of those sparkly ones.
Yeah, the golden bee.
It's also fun when you can bring a fish to the bottle vendor, because then he just gives you a whole bunch of stuff.
And we get our secret check here on Christos' side. Ooh, and we got the mids. I mean,
I don't like seeing early mitts.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe not the best item. So maybe my hype was like not okay, but the hookshot is definitely nice to see here.
Again, doesn't open up as much as you would think. But with the mitts, that gives us there's the pearl. I was about to say, once we find the pearl, we now have the smith, the purple chest, and ice palace kind of available to us. Ice palace will still need fire rod or bombos, but otherwise, those are open. Just a heart piece at the race game, so I don't think either of our runners are going to try to cheat it.
I think Chris is gonna do it. He's been doing that the entire yeah.
He did cheat it. Awesome.
He's been doing that the entire tournament. Like, no matter what's up there, he's gonna go and get it.
A consistent way of getting it wasn't even found out until quite recently, only a week or so ago. Oh, and a sword. Look at that. All kinds of worth. Actually, the sword is very nice because now our runners can spin speed, which makes a lot of clips a lot easier.
Yeah, that's correct. Especially later on Death Mountain, where the cabbages kind of interrupt you. If you try to clip like through the slopes without spin speed, it's getting really annoying.
Well, when you're going to the right, even more so, since you only move one pixel at a time doing that.
Yeah.
Got some nice sync going on.
Yo, that's some next level sync action here.
Because of the red rupee, we got a little bit desynced here.
Only got one item so far in Desert, I believe. That was the 100 rupee.
Yeah, that's the only thing so far. So we're going to see if this is anything, and then after this, we're going to get the other ancillary things outside Desert. Oh, well, now we know that Landmola's has nothing.
Which is probably good, since it's a pendant dungeon, and they kind of don't want to do Landmo anyway.
Yeah, because you need a fire source to get there, and they don't have one yet.
Yeah, what I really like about this mode is that you can do like all the stuff that's like in the desert area, like in random order, I guess.
Yeah, you can do it in any order you want, but you usually want to end at Agina.
Yeah. So
Christos opting to go for the boots clip, while Espeon goes for the spin speed. Catches up a little bit of time there.
Yeah, but so far we're pretty much even after 10 minutes. That's really nice to see.
And you can see the difference in little clips that runners know and different ways of getting around the world.
Yeah,
it's basically down to what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah. Espeon making up a little bit of time, but not too much, so it's really what you said, like, do whatever you're comfy with.
So in terms of what overworld glitches does the logic consider? It considers a lot of variants of a few major glitches, those being the boots clips, the mirror clips, and spin speed things. It's basically a lot of variation of the same trick over and over and over. And then just done in a bunch of different ways. We get the silvers in the dam.
You always see Espeon go up to Tower of Hera. And get the mirror shield in after 11 minutes only. That's a rare sight.
I don't know, if I were him, I would have skipped it.
I think it really only adds lag, right?
No, I don't even think it does that. I mean, a shield is a shield for the most part. Espeon luckily able to go up to the top of Tower of Hera here, not needing the fire source yet. And getting close to Zora money on Christos' side. Hopefully you can find a little bit more before needing to fake flipper up there. Let's see, the blue mail is at least one item. Have we seen another one out of Tower of Hera yet?
No, I don't think so. We got the compass in the first room and the big key in the other chest in the front. I believe we got the map and the blue mail. So this is either a small key or the next item. So a little bit
still a little bit short on money there.
I was a little bit disappointed that he went into the ice rod cave, the normal way, instead of the upward teleport that doesn't need a bomb.
Well, it depends if you want to do anything after Ice Rod Cave, because if you want to do anything after, it's better to bomb it open. So we saw Espeon do a spin speed clip to get up to Death Mountain. Meanwhile, Christos is doing a teleport, and is going to hit Old Man first so that he can fix his camera here.
Yeah, what happens if you don't fix your camera? The game just takes infinite amount of time to.
It's about 2 minutes, but it feels a lot longer than that.
Yeah, you can basically count the frames of you entering that cave. It's really insane.
So let's see, what else? We need to get a Dark World check at some point in here. I want to see what crystals we have next. But I guess we're going to go check the east side of Death Mountain first. Wait, Espeon, where are you going? Are you going to GT already?
That's a very early GT.
Well, doing Spike Cave, so following that little bit of trail.
Yeah, I think at this point you have 5 different options of where you can go, and everything is a very good choice. Or can lead you somewhere at least.
Ooh, a fire source, and a lamp at that. That's actually a really nice find here.
Meanwhile, we find the Cane of Burner, the Mushroom, and the Powder in Paradox Cave. So not the best cave, but might be useful.
Oh, there's our map check. We've got Skullwoods and T-Rock as the other 2 pendants, and Pod as the other red crystal. Although I guess we already knew Skullwoods.
Yeah.
But still, probably we don't need the Ice Rod.
And we see a very early GT play after only 15 minutes.
Well, he's got the hook shot and the hammer, so he can clear out the whole left side.
But do you really want to do ice armors with just that?
It's not ideal. Although, I think Espeon still has his B, which could be kind of interesting to see. If he does make it that far, I hope he uses it.
I think we will see shortly, in like 3 minutes.
Something like that. Oh yeah, he does still have the B. Alright. I'm hopeful. Meanwhile, Christos is heading into Hera. And we have 4 keys already for GT. And we find the best boomerang.
I have to agree with that.
And at a really opportune time, too. It's really nice to have for the next couple of rooms.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. Like, especially these switches down here.
Although this early of a GT play is pretty gutsy, considering you only have 5 hearts right now. Meanwhile, Christos is sitting at a cool 8. I guess he picked up a lot from the South Shore and East Death Mountain.
So I wonder where Christos is gonna head after defeating Moldom here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to do the same GT play or if he's going to try to go for Thieves Town and whatnot.
But if he decides to do GT as well, I think he has a much better time at Ice Armors with the Can of Burner.
Oh yeah, especially with the half magic. Get a Quake Medallion, and luckily didn't get hit by the Anti-Fairy falling down there.
Yeah, like sometimes this guy just ruins your day, draining all your magic, and we get to see some Fighter Sword strats, so no bees today.
Come on, use the B. It'll help you so much here.
Meanwhile, Chris is also picking up the lamp on the right side here.
Aw, Espeon tried to go for a dash through all of them. That would have been awesome.
We do get to see some cape strats though. So
the worst part about Armos is that spinning is not helpful here.
Yep.
Only bets are slashing or dashing and whatnot.
So
Ooh,
this
only half a heart, and they're all still alive. Oh, here comes the B! Oh, come on!
No!
We're on the B! Use the B! Well, it looks like Christos is going over to the Dark World side of Death Mountain. Not opting for GT yet. Oh, that's unfortunate.
See what we find in Hookshot Cave meanwhile. Some more hearts or heart pieces.
You know, if Kane of Samaria is behind Ice Armos, I think it's going to be a long time before we see Espeon back in GT.
Yeah, the thing about these Ice Armors fights is they really feel bad until you find something very good like behind them. Then it's like the best thing you could have ever done.
So it looks like Christos is going to go for a catfish here.
We see that Bombos is required to open TR, although I think we don't need that at all.
There's a rare logical occurrence where it can happen, but again, it's rare. So where is Espeon going to go now?
He never went to East Death Mountain, right?
No, he didn't, so he's probably going to go check out this side, then go to the Dark World side of it, and climb it that way.
Christos getting a bit bullied here by that skull. I think he's gonna head down to Palace of Darkness from this point.
Yeah. Actually, he was streaming a little bit of practice earlier, and he only just learned that clip.
I think I've heard that like 5 times during this tournament. Christos practicing new glitches like right before his race.
Yeah, he hasn't been up to speed on a lot of the stuff that we've done with this game.
Oh yeah.
I love that little shortcut that Espeon just did on East Death Mountain. Just spin speeding through that little cliff to hop down a little quicker.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's like one of the small things you sometimes forget if you play other modes regularly, but if you play a lot of Overworld glitches, I think that's like a common strat to do.
So it feels bad when you miss the spin speed a couple of times and you don't have hook.
Yeah. And then like going around would have been faster.
And it just becomes a walk of shame.
So we do see ChristosOwen here in Palace of Darkness right now. We know he cannot clear that yet without the bow.
But these chests so far are not bow locked, so he's able to at least clear a fair portion of the dungeon. Now, if he had thought ahead, he may have thought of buying a potion while on the East Death Mountain, because there is a shop over there. And then maybe using that to reach the 2 chests on the bow-locked side of Pod here. But that's something that's really hard to put in place so far ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I also think like often when you play these Overworld glitches seeds, you are not 100% sure what you want to do next. And you kind of wait after you play until, like, if you find a good item or like some sort of progression or not, and then decide based on that. So maybe he just did not think that far ahead. Yeah, at least I would not have.
The glitch modes, considering how much can be open to you at one time compared to the no major glitches seeds, you always have to be thinking, what am I going to do next? And it's never an easy question to answer.
Yeah. You find one item, boom, 20 more locations. you never know what to do.
Oh, there's another bee. And another sword. And Christos, without any keys, he's got to do this.
I think that this kind of mistake just like feels like flooding the key in Swamp. It's kind of the same thing.
I'm not entirely sure that was a mistake.
Oh, so you think he did it on purpose?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, why else would he do the hammer jump?
I don't know. Maybe he just like did not watch his key count and forgot. Like that's why I was saying it's basically the same. Why it happens sometimes that you flood the key in Swan Palace. Like you don't pay 100% attention and then did the jump. Don't have keys.
Hopefully Christos remembers to pick up some money down in this hallway. There you go. Now he's got enough for Zora, and there's the ice rod. Meanwhile, Espeon is kind of following what Christos did earlier, clipping down to Catfish after doing the Dark World side of Death Mountain.
Chris is not sure what to do. Still not sure, I think.
Yeah. Not really sure if he's got anything left in here, if there's anything left for him to do. I guess Espeon isn't going to pod, or is taking the long way around. Could be going to check Pyramid and head down to Hype Cave first, not seeing pod as a decent play at the moment. Oh, maybe he was debating on whether or not to use this key. Christos trying to use this key for the big key chest here. Yeah, it would have been better if he skipped it. Oh, and there's another sword on the pyramid.
So let's see where Espeon is headed. If he also decides to go into pod, or maybe...
I think he's going to Hype Cave. Yeah, with that dash down, he's definitely going to Hype Cave here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair choice, in my opinion. Uh-oh.
Getting a little rocked by the guards there.
So we're getting a high five in here.
Oh, there's some big money. And the red mail. Otherwise, not really anything in Hype Cave here. Espeon getting the nice lucky refill from getting his 4th heart piece in a set. Is Espeon going for the... Oh, he is going for the spin speed clip here. Okay. Trying to cut some time from going all the way around.
Yeah, that one is not one of my favorites, because these, like, flying bomber guys sometimes ruin your day.
I think he might have been better off having his sword out while doing the hook dash. That way he wouldn't have to find the exact pixel where you kind of start clipping through the cliff.
Yeah, also, we see Christos coming over to the Maya area here with the nice rain state glitch animation, I guess.
Yeah, because the game doesn't have time to actually load the proper overlay since you transition from the side rather than from an underworld entrance or from a warp tile. So it doesn't have time to load the rain, and so you get this instead.
Also saw that we need ether. Like, we definitely need to find that at some point, since we cannot get into Misery Maya in another manner.
That we know of yet. God, I live for the day when we can open up Maya without the medallion.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. That's kind of why I'm scouting the glitches channel as well every day. And Christos deciding to save and quit here, does not want to clip back.
He might have got... Did he get stuck? He might have gotten stuck, like he did the wrong teleport or something.
I did not see him get stuck. I think... I just saw him struggle with it a bit. And then I watched Espeon screen, and then Christos did a save and quit, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. We get some more money on the digging game. I think we are set for money in this seed.
Alright, is Espeon going to be able to beat the clock here? Is he going to be able to teleport into Village of Outcasts before the timer runs out? Oh, he gets it! That's always a great feeling. So Christos kind of going the more intended route for getting into a Village of Outcasts. Which is not always the worst thing to do. It's good to remember that there are the non-glitch ways of doing things. It's so easy to get caught up in trying to be cool and just teleport around the world, but sometimes it's faster to just go the normal way.
Yeah. So when I first started finding out about these Overworld glitches seeds, I thought, man, these go by much faster than regular seeds because you can get to all places very fast. But sadly, that's not the truth. These seeds kind of average at about the same time. So
yeah, despite being able to reach a lot more locations a lot earlier, that's a double-edged sword because now things can be in those off locations all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes you get like a time of 120, and sometimes it's like 2-hour 10 seed, and there's like nothing you can do about that. But yeah, I think both players pretty much going hand in hand here in this seed in general. Christos having done the South Shore checks, while Espeon did like most of left side GT, apart from the ice armors.
Yeah, that's really the only difference between them at the moment. I mean, Christos did carry that all the way over to Ice Rod Cave, but neither player has done the Hobo check, nor the Zora area.
And I guess Christos did Palace of Darkness, and Espeon checked Graveyard Ledge and the King's Tomb. Like other than that, I think they pretty much did the same thing. They're like hand in hand in Thieves Town right now.
Yeah, neither player really found anything in those other extra checks, so...
yeah.
Oh, these Patrick Stars are the worst!
Yeah, Espeon having really bad luck with these.
I'm kind of glad that Espeon found a lot of those hearts in the red mail, because he's been face tanking a lot of stuff here in the Thieves Town attic.
Yeah, I mean, this dungeon has not been nice to him. So we still have 3 items left, I believe. No, only 2. I didn't miscount. We still need the map, I think. Like 1 dungeon item was missing on Chris's inventory. Yeah.
Well, I've got the small key. I mean, we're not really going out of the way to skip anything here. Espeon opting to go for the big chest before picking up Blind, and we get the Fire Rod. So I think that actually puts Espeon in a bit of an advantage toward routing, because he can go right up to Skull Woods now, whereas Christos still has things like the digging game that he skipped. I don't know how long he's going to put that thing off. Although he might go from digging game over to Smithy and such, whereas Espeon may just go north to Skull Woods.
Yes, so I think both players are like not in the best position right now, but kind of evens out, maybe.
A nice script for Christos. And a nice script for Espeon. Okay, so Espeon opting to go for the hammer pegs. I wonder if he will go for the smithy chain here.
It's kind of a hard choice. You need to go in that cave, Espeon.
I think he might have thought he was in a situation where he couldn't enter the underworld. Finds Bombos, which is okay, I guess. He's already got Fire Rod, so Ice Palace wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
But what I was kind of saying toward that was he might have thought he was in a situation where he couldn't go into the underworld because he had fake fluted or something. Or was just playing a glitch mode and just being very careful about using his link state that took a moment to realize, oh wait, I don't have to worry about that. Ooh, flippers.
Yep, and we can just like hop onto that ledge without having to go all the way around.
Even though we've got the cape.
So I'm expecting Espeon to go into Skullwoods at this point, and then maybe grab the Smith afterwards.
I don't know. Depends on how far he goes into Skull Woods. It's kind of a kind of long trek out if you go all the way through.
I think he did not mean to fall into that hole.
Yeah, he's got to go get this guaranteed key here. And the question is, does Christos go into Skull Woods with the frog in tow? Because you can, as long as you fall into it.
Yeah, and that's a really rare sight, actually. You don't always see the frog in Skullwoods.
I've done it before. It's fun.
Well, he picks up his flippers on the bumper cave ledge.
Well, there's one item in Skull Woods, a heart piece. There's only one more until the green pendant. No, he is going to take the frog on a journey. Oh, and he falls in the same hole. I wonder if he meant to do that one.
When Espeon has to go all the way around again through this room, because there was no key on the left side, and he already wasted that, or like used that other one on the. Oh, it gets grabbed.
Yeah, that's actually unfortunate because it puts him back a couple of rooms. He was trying to hook shot over the spike, and just wasn't quite getting the right lineup for it.
Christos has to use the exact same route here as well. Since, as you mentioned, we can only enter Skullwoods by dropping down the hole when we have the Smith.
Well, that and he doesn't have a small key to open up the other door here, and can't go to the other entrance to go find one.
Yeah. Christos doesn't even want to go all the way around to check the big chest. He just saves and quit.
Not the worst idea, honestly.
But we see Espeon continuing his trip through Skywoods, so...
Stunning the Gibdo with the boomerang. Oh, can he get grabbed quick enough? Alright, he is. Awesome.
Alright, so that was our second item here, just some green goo.
So I guess he's gonna go kill Moth and then save and quit, because there's nothing else for him on this side of the world, and then just keep that green pendant for a later check.
Yeah, probably not the worst idea since you're in here already, so might as well just go and kill Moth real quick.
And he doesn't have to worry about getting the Gibdo key later, because he's got 2. We get a Bat Cave check out of Christos. Just for a little spot of cash.
So where would you head at this point?
If I were Christos, GT. Although I guess he's checking Hobo and Island real quick.
But maybe that's an Ice Palace play as well.
Oh, he is going to Ice Palace. Okay. I mean, it is a crystal that he's got to complete at some point. Meanwhile, Moth is just having fun camping in the corner, as he often likes to do.
Yeah, it's always that top left corner, it seems like. But Espeon gets it done, gets his green pendant, and probably saves and quits after.
Oh yeah, definitely a save and quit from here. It's too long to backtrack out of Skull Woods. Pretty sure you're better off just saving and quitting back to the old man and then just doing a Death Mountain descent. Christos trying to do some bomb strats, but didn't quite pan out for him. Finds one item out of Ice Palace so far. 2 left.
When Espeon picking up these hearts might be the same play.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Oh, I think he remembers South Shore that he hasn't done yet. And then he can conveniently go into Ice Palace after doing the Ice Road Cave. I think that makes a lot of sense.
It does, and thankfully he did remember that. Even if this all winds up not really paying off for him in items, it is still peace of mind. And silvers.
Yeah, he would have liked silvers for the ice armors earlier in combination with the bow, but...
We're still missing that bow.
Yup. That can be behind ice armors, right?
It can. I mean, they have a way to kill him.
Oh, and Christos slipping off the platform here.
And again! Come on, man! Come on, man! What are you doing? Oh, I think Espeon actually fell into the hole on purpose there so he could be by the entrance quicker. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. I love seeing these small optimizations that you come up with, like, spontaneously. So we're gonna see the right side from Christos here.
And Espeon bombing open the Ice Rod Cave correctly because he does want to do stuff afterward.
I'm pretty sure you can get out even without doing that. I did that, like, many times.
Without having to correct yourself a couple of times?
Yeah.
That's weird, because I've never been able to do that. I haven't really tried too hard, but never really had luck with it. Alright, there's our second item out of Ice Palace. Green Rupee.
And we do see a hobo check here from Espeon.
There's another bee in a bottle. So we found all 4 bottles, and 3 of them had bees. So let's see, in terms of things that we need still, we still need Ether, Cane, and Bow. I think that's it. No, Mirror. Ether,
Yeah.
Cane, Bow, and Mirror. Espeon going for the Zora check prior to going into Ice Palace. Doesn't quite want to commit to the dungeon, but Christos finds the mirror as the last item in Ice Palace in that one room that nobody likes.
Yup. But I was about to say, like, an Overworld glitch seed without the mirror, I always think that's kind of boring. But with that in hand, I think we might see one mirror rep, maybe.
Actually, I don't think so. I don't think so. Why would he go to Laser Bridge at this point? He doesn't have Kane, so there's nothing useful that he can find over there at the moment.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, if he had Kane, maybe that's a different story, but until we find that, I don't think we're going to see any more laser wraps or mirror wraps from anybody here.
I guess you're correct.
Half Magic coming in nicely to help clean up these cotton candy puffs. And now we see Espeon, I think, heading over to Ice Palace.
Yeah, so he's also gonna pick up his mirror in 1 minute or 5. And let's see where Christos is headed next.
If I were him, I would say GT. Although he could do Swamp now, which wouldn't be the worst.
I guess you're correct, like, delaying GT that long in Overworld glitch seed, like, that has to be on the back of your mind, like...
Yeah, when you get Pearl and Hammer and Hook so early, and there's no junk pre-fill in GT itself, so it's more likely to hold progression. It's just something that always you have to keep in mind.
So this might be GT or maybe Pyramid Fairy?
Looks like Pyramid Fairy, actually. Wonder how he's going to get down the mountain from here. He has choices.
I think there's many choices you can get down, right?
Yeah, as long as you don't save and quit. I've seen some runners like to do a Death Mountain descent like that and then fall in a hole, because for some reason coming south off of Death Mountain messes with your camera enough such that the fall turns it into Houlihan. He is not going for the super jump. I am disappointed, Chris.
Yeah, same. I have to agree with that.
He is putting off the Fat Furry check a little bit longer, opting to go through Escape, which neither runner has done yet. Well, the front part of it, anyway. Oh no, Espeon takes a fall in the Ice Palace bomb jump.
That looks very deep into the pyramid, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get out of here real easily. It's going to kick him right back in, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be at this a little while if he wants to get out of here. That's 2. I think the next one he'll be free. Yeah, when you place your portal for that fairy check, you actually want it to be pretty low. And it's not nearly as precise as it looks.
So what happens if you put it too low? Do you just mirror bonk into the entrance and then you can go back and like pick up the bush and readjust, or do you just like
you
stand
can do
in
that.
front? All right.
You can do that. You can readjust with the bush, although there is a little bit of iframes that you have when you get mirror bonked anyway, so you can use that to adjust too.
All right, that's fair enough. I mean, it looks like Swamp Palace here from Christos.
Still putting off that GT check.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I really want to see what's behind these ice armors, since Espeon would have had that like half an hour ago.
Yeah. Again, I kind of hope that Kane isn't back there. Because with Espeon pretty much clearing out the rest of GT on that side, he doesn't really have a reason to go there until it's pretty much the last thing he does.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like Espeon has to take a pretty big loop if he wants to get that last item from the room that everyone hates.
So I'm wondering, what apart from Swamp Palace do we have left in checks?
We still have some checks in Turtle Rock that we can do, which includes Mimic Cave.
Yeah, and I think apart from that, it's really only Ice Armors and Eastern Palace.
I don't think we've turned in the mushroom either.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
Espeon taking, I think, the correct way around. So I think it's a little bit closer to the hole he wants to drop in. He just has to hit this switch. Christos opting to clear the back first, which I think is correct considering he doesn't have the big key yet. It's actually fairly likely to be back here. Although usually if you're full clearing anyway, it can be optimal to go for the left side first. Does Espeon have a green potion? Because I know that we found one somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. Okay, he does have that.
Yeah, so he was getting a little bit unlucky with the first 8 fire rod shots. Like, went a little bit too far up, so he missed the ice block, and then all of his timing was off. Still manages to kill Coldstare with that green potion in hand, and meanwhile we see Christos heading into his Argus fight.
Is he gonna go for the Zero Cycle? Nope.
He didn't even try, if I saw that correct.
He did not even try for it. Although it's back to what we said earlier. Go with what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, definitely.
Though I'm surprised he didn't pull out the Fire Rod, because that's usually part of NMG stuff, and we find the Gold Sword on Argus. I still don't think he got the big key out of there, so I think it's on the left side.
I'm not even sure if he checked the bottom 2 chests, to be honest. I mean, I would be surprised if we didn't.
He did. Those were a bunch of money in there.
Alright, because I was looking at Espeon's screen while he fought Coldstare.
Now he has both a map and compass, so there are still 2 items here, in addition to the big key to open up the big chest. We know that there's stuff back here, we just don't know if it's any good yet.
Yeah. But this makes me actually agree with you, like, I think you should check GT before going into Swamp at least. Since left side Swamp always feels kind of bad, and like at this point there's not much left to do, so then you definitely know you have to go left side. Or most likely, I guess. So, what do you think was our next piece of progression? Do you hope for that Ice Armor's Cane, maybe?
Well, I really don't hope for it. Bow on Ice Armos would be more acceptable to me. Because then, more than likely, you're able to climb GT, because you could also find the big key back there. Because we haven't found that yet for GT. As far as... Actually, I kind of hope that Cane is over here on left side Swamp. Oh, hey, there it is! As the words were coming out of my mouth. There we go. So we're still missing Ether and Bow.
Right, but that's not too bad for Espeon, actually.
Yeah, it gives him a reason to go up Death Mountain again in terms of going to Turtle Rock. And then from there, maybe dipping back into GT to check the right-hand side.
I think Christos is doing the flipper checks now, which he did not do earlier.
Yeah, he hasn't checked Hobo or Zora yet. I guess he's going to Zora first, because he can get to Hobo really quickly from a save and quit.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not a witch, guys. Stop it.
I'm still surprised, though, that Christos is still delaying GT. Like, with that Cane and Hookshot and Hammer and all that, that's like a big alarm clock in my head.
Yeah, and he's got Hookshot, so if Bow winds up being there, you can completely full clear it.
When Espeon pushes the wrong block, has to reset this room.
Oh no. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's still a little bit of a waste. Luckily, he knows that he can do that instead of mirroring back to the front.
Oh, yeah. Alright, is this our GT play here on Christos' side?
Yep. It definitely is, considering he's not fixing his camera.
Yeah.
Alright, so now Espeon needs to go and clear the back end. Unfortunately, does not have a tempered or better sword, so this Argus fight is going to take a little bit longer than the one cycle that Christos had. Now, is Christos gonna... Is he gonna do Tile Room first, or is... Oh, yeah, he's doing Tile Room first. Just grab a wall with the cape active, makes it so easy.
Yeah, that's another reason why this mode is nice. It does not feel as bad to do Tile Room. Because at some point you will most likely do this room anyway.
Same goes for the Ganon's Tower Big Chest. You almost never see it opened in NMG modes, but in glitch modes it's actually pretty viable.
Yeah. So yeah, we are seeing some new checks here on the right side with the cane in hand on Crystal's side.
Oh, getting a little bit of a bad damage boost there, but still plenty of time. So what do we see over here in the compass room? Another heart, another pocket change, another pocket change, and some more bombs.
So the big key is at least behind us almost.
Yeah, it is.
So we are secretly hoping for Bo, I guess, as well?
Yeah, I mean, this would be a great place to find Bo. Because then you could at least go upstairs from here.
Yeah, that's correct.
Otherwise, it might turn up being a triple dip for Espeon. Which would feel quite bad. Those long-range fire rod shots, wow. Pretty sure Espeon is quite happy to see that tempered sword.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of wished he had that a minute ago, but I think he's still happy seeing that.
So if I were Espeon, maybe I would do Turtle Rock since I've already checked a lot of GT, because then after Turtle Rock I can go for GT afterward. At least if it were me. And since we don't really have to worry too much about Turtle Rock logic, it would actually be good to mirror wrap here. But it looks like he's going into GT anyway.
Or maybe it's Pyramid Fairy since we haven't seen it from him yet. But I'm guessing
Maybe.
it's GT at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's GT.
I mean, there's much more items than in the Pyramid Fairy, so I think it makes sense.
I mean, I guess it is, what, 9 items that he's getting here in GT versus, I don't know how many are in Turtle Rock. I should know, but I don't.
It's 5 and Mimic Cave, so that's 6.
Espeon choosing to face tank everything again. I guess it's a little more engaging to do this rather than just hold a button at a wall.
Yeah. Alright, and Chris is about to head into his Ice Amos fight. Let's see what his weapon of choice is.
Use the bee. I mean, I know he's not going to because he's got Cane of Burna. Or he better use the Cane of Burna here.
He's doing bomb strats though.
Bombs and beams?
I mean, beams are not too bad, but I think he's got better options.
Burna better than beams, but B would be better. Or at least more fun, for me anyway.
Ooh, but the last one didn't even get red.
Yeah, was able to damage them pretty evenly, which is pretty helpful. We don't really get anything else other than the big key back here, so we gotta hope for the big chest to have something nice.
Well, that's not something nice. So I guess it's T-Rock at this point.
Yeah, it's T-Rock, because we've got to find Bo or Ether, and there's not a whole lot left that we can do. Oh yeah, we haven't actually done Escape. Christos did Uncle and then went right to the Pyramid Fairy, but we haven't done the actual castle dungeon that you're supposed to do at the start of the game. So the good old 1 hour escape check.
I mean, Like in this mode especially, it's not a very rare sight to see these very early checks that you normally see in like other modes being done very early after like the 1 hour mark. I think the latest I've seen Saharshala at some point was like 1 hour 45 minutes or something.
Having a little bit of trouble getting his boomerang to cooperate. Now, Espeon is actually kind of low on magic here. I don't know if he has quite enough to do a full kill with the Cane of Berna. Luckily, he does have full health, so he can do some Sword Beam strats.
Still no beast, though.
I know, I'm disappointed. I think he's trying to group them all together using the beams before using the cane. Didn't quite get what I think he wanted, but it's gonna work out. Now he's out of magic, so he's got to finish off the last of these. Got hit, so he lost his beams. So now he's got to finish the rest of this with slashes or spins. Definitely doesn't want to poke.
Alright, let's see what Christos finds here in Zelda Cell. It's only a big
Nothing.
So.
There's still the dark room, but he doesn't have a key, so we know that that's there. So there's no reason to go to the chest in the dark here. It's gotta be T-Rock. Actually, we haven't gone into Eastern either. Or did we?
No, we did not go there yet.
Okay, yeah, we only checked Sahasrara, so...
So going Eastern would be the biggest show at this point, I think.
Yeah. Actually, Ether would be better, and then Bo and Meyer.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe book is somewhere, or shovel it.
Yeah, just extend the fetch quest chain.
Yeah, just like unnecessarily waste everyone's time.
Rando does love to do that. Alright, we do see a mirror wrap here out of Christos to get to the laser bridge. He's trying to get set up onto the very edge, doesn't quite get it, but can reset a little bit. He'd be better off if he bombed himself to the edge from this point, I think. But he still gets the mosaic transition. And welcome to Laser Bridge.
So do you want to explain how this works?
As far as explaining, there's not really much more to explain other than that you mirror the same time you transition, and then just for some reason you move halfway across the world. As far as to why that happens, I have no idea.
When we find the book.
So maybe we do get a bit of a fetch quest chain here.
We see the same thing from Espeon here. So Espeon really just the Palace of Darkness checks behind at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that Espeon has done that Christos didn't?
Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, and I think that's it. Although Christos has done the Pyramid Ferry.
Oh, Espeon also completely finished Skull Woods, whereas Christos, did he get both items there? I don't think he did.
No, I think he got 1, maybe 0. I think he got 1.
Yeah, because I think the second item was in the big key location, so he wouldn't have been able to get that with the frog in tow. Speaking of, that's something that Christos did that Espeon has not, the smithy, and neither of our runners have done the purple chest. Espeon trying to go for some heart pots here, or magic, I guess. I'm not entirely sure where he's trying to go. There's a full magic right at the... Was he just trying to get some magic for,
to backtrack? Yeah, I think that's what he did.
I think it would have been better to just go right in front of the Trinix room and get that full magic restore there.
Yeah, I think it's situations like these where you learn a thing or two, like as a player, because this is like a rare occurrence that you have no magic and you need to like backtrack, and then you kind of improvise, and find out after, oh, maybe I should have just done something else.
Yeah, there are a few magic restores before you wind up in the front of Turtle Rock. One being on one of the return pipes, there's a full magic off by itself. It's right after the big key chest here that Christos is near. A little bit of trouble with the Hokabuku. And Christos dodging lasers despite having the mirror shield. There's our big key.
Yeah, Christos will be picking up his full magic that you just mentioned.
Yep. This is a very nice one to know for overworld glitches and major glitch modes specifically. You never really see it in the NMG stuff. Poked in the face by a chomp. Just stares him down and then just takes a bite.
Alright, so what do we get in the front? Do we get some like maybe bow or ether, or is book really the progression that we were waiting for?
At this point, I'm going to say it's book.
It's not looking good right now.
Only 3 more chests to check. The 2 that are in the torches, and then I think Christos re-entered from the big chest area, so he can just mirror there and check after getting these 2, since he got the big key afterward.
Yeah.
Small key and a small key.
Well, that does look good.
Maybe it's the book. It's the book. Or it could be Trinix. Maybe he's going to go all the way through the dungeon again.
I think at this point, I may have saved and quit, checked the ether tablet, and if that's nothing, mirror rep to laser bridge again to do Trinex.
That sounds much better than what I probably would have done what Christos is doing here, but that sounds so much better.
I mean, I think both are like good plays.
I honestly think yours is much better though. Going for ether, and then just going back into Turtle Rock from there, because you wouldn't have to go through the dark room and through all that other stuff, and you get to check ether, and if that winds up being progression, then you're good.
Yeah, but if that's not, you waste a lot of time, so...
Not that much, really.
I mean, it's still a save and quit. You have to clip into that, like, mountain, which sometimes is a bit of a struggle, in my opinion. And then
I guess.
Maybe you fail the mirror rep, like, twice, and then it's like, okay, why did I do this?
Goes back to do what's comfortable for you.
Well, we get to see a zero cycle of the butter sword in hand.
Backdoor strats. And we get the Ether Medallion off of Trinix. Alright, so there's Meyer.
Right, Espeon, where do you go?
I guess Bombo's tablet to begin with. Is he going to buy potions? Is he thinking about fake fluting to make things a little easier for him? Well, he is doing the mushroom check at the very least. So maybe he's just getting some blue potions alongside.
So is Christos, actually.
And there's the bow. Now, that's actually kind of unfortunate for Espeon. For Espeon here. Because now he's got to go through Pod and Eastern. And is likely going to be searching for the Ether the whole way there.
Yeah, but he didn't really have a choice since he's missing the Ice Road, which is in Pod. So
that's true. He couldn't have beaten Trinix. I didn't realize that. Oh, man. Christos trying to fake flute here. Getting all the way down to the mire area.
Espeon, meanwhile, trying to get to the eastern area here.
I can never remember which bump you're supposed to do this teleport on. Wasn't that one?
No, it's one above this one. It's like the one right between the two lines of bushes. So he's like too far below right now.
Is he going for this clip over here? Yeah, that's what I would have done. I would have failed that one a couple times and gone right for this one. Now that clip is actually a little weird because you're not actually able to hop onto the ledge there. You have to transition down first.
I think I've only seen that one in the Dark World.
Yeah,
like
and that one has...
hopping on the ledge, and then you kind of have to unstack.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah, Christos is actually in go mode at this point. I think we did not really mention that.
I didn't make a big show out of it, but I might have mentioned it.
Alright.
Either way, just so the viewers know, we're in go mode!
And yeah, Espeon's still looking for that Ice Road and Ether Medallion. And he's gonna full clear Eastern and Pod
and then have to somehow get back to Trinix, but I imagine he's going to clear GT first.
Yeah, most likely, I guess. So he's in a little bit of trouble, and it's looking really good for Christos at this point.
Still gotta find that big key from Meyer, though.
So we're sitting at 19 hearts here on Christos' side, and red mail.
And mirror shield, and butter sword, and silver arrows.
And half magic cape.
Multiple bottles filled with blue potion.
Yeah. This is like the casual player's first playthrough.
And we're only an hour and 19 minutes into this, and we're already so decked out. There's the big key.
It's also an early big key here in the Eastern Palace. Like, somewhat early, I guess. At least Christos does not have to check the right side here. Which Espeon will most likely do. So,
now, sadly, we didn't... Oh, he might have been able to set up Spooky here, but I don't know if he's going to go for it. Nope, no Spooky. He didn't make up any dust. He's not going to Spooky the basement.
I think he did not pick up the rock from the bottom. I was about to ask you if you can do that with the fake flute.
I didn't catch it, but yeah, you can actually do it off the fake flute.
Oh, that's...
Since the bird still comes by and drops you off, even if you use a fake flute for it.
But yeah, he went through the portal from the left side, so no spooky action going on tonight.
Well, Espeon has some potions. Maybe he'll do it. So for those who have no idea what Spooky Glitch is, it's a way of using the splash damage from the Fire Rod to hit the crystal switch in a different room. And for some reason, we can use the duck flying away in a specific location to set this weird variable.
It's interesting strats here from Christos, deciding to go like half NMG, half Silvero strats.
There's another heart piece. There's another crystal. So, we're pretty much tied on crystals at this point. Although the two that Christos has left are relatively quick. Since he's already cleared out most of Pod anyway.
So he's gonna do GT at this point and then just go over to Pod and Eastern. Which makes a lot of sense in my opinion.
I don't know, I would have left GT for last, because, I think he's... No, did he have 2 blue potions on him? Because maybe he could have just fake fluted over to Eastern and Pod, and then just done them both that way, and then go up to GT afterward and just fall into the fight at the end.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I have no idea how many potions he has left.
I don't know if he bought 2 or only the 1. So here goes Espeon for climbing GT. He did a hook dash through the small elbow in the cliff there, and for some reason, because the cliff is so long, it's actually just a really short hop rather than one that kind of takes you all the way across the screen. It's kind of weird. Gotta love chasing the skeletons around the room. Always fun. These guys too, for that matter.
Yeah, especially that left guy. He likes to go all the way around in weird places. And then miraculously dodge everything you throw at him. Yeah, Chris is having really bad luck with this gauntlet.
That's kind of why I like the fire rod a bit better, because it just vaporizes those skeletons.
Yeah, I like using that if I have health magic as well. Just makes things a little bit more nice.
Somehow Christos still got hit by a fireball in the face, even though he's got the mirror shield.
I was gonna say, I think he tried to block that shot. Espeon on the other side showing us how you actually block shots, so good job from him.
Gets a nice 1-cycle Landmo too. Uh-oh, that was a shovel up there. That's not good for Espeon. Could delay going for Trinix just that much longer.
Yeah, so the only part that went wrong on Espeon's part here, I think, is him not going into pod earlier, right?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot he could have done about that. I mean, he could have done it right after Catfish, but he opted to go for Pyramid instead. And down to, I think, Hype Cave at that point.
Yeah, which I think was a good play as well, since you could not have cleared Pod, and there's like so many items you could have checked instead.
Right, because he continued that loop all the way through the Maya area up to Village of Outcasts.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't have been as easy if he went into Pod first.
And I think he even went into Skywoods and did all that in that one swoop, so it made a lot of sense in my opinion. But sadly did not work out. So have we seen the Smith and the purple chest from Espeon yet?
We have seen neither from Espeon, and we only saw the Smith out of Christos. So that shovel might steer him in that direction.
Well, I hope at this point we see Palace of Darkness next, which we probably will after he lands on the pyramid. But after that, it's like, where do you go? You have Trinex, and then there's like several other locations that are just as uninteresting as Trinex is.
This is where things like mirror reps come really handy, because you can cut out a lot of dungeon travel time. Rather than having to go to the big chest entrance and then working your way down, you can just be right at the laser bridge. But it still takes the time to do that. That was a pretty good Aga 2 fight from Espeon.
It really was. So Christos cleaning up his 2 remaining dungeons. Espeon's still looking for that ice road in Pod to get his Ether Medallion from Trinex.
I guess he just really hates the hedge maze and just wants to skip as much of it as possible.
Maybe he wants to fill up some potions?
I don't think so, because he still has all 3 blues, I think. I don't think he used any of them.
So is this really that much faster than just going around?
If he had done it to begin with, I think it's about comparable.
Alright, but I mean, this is the Overworld Glitches tournament, so you kind of want to show off here and there, I guess, so it makes sense. I would have done it.
He got hit, so he's got to go get Kiki again.
Doesn't get the dash cancelled to get Kiki to run faster to the entrance.
Yeah, if you trigger the cutscene while Kiki is far away, he goes at his cutscene speed, which is much slower than his dashing speed. Couple of quick slashes for the second phase of Helmasaur, and Christos now has 6 of the 7 crystals. So now he's just got to mirror to Eastern, complete that dungeon, and then make his way over to the pyramid again.
Yep.
Wonder which way he's going to go to the pyramid. He could make his way out of the hedge maze, but that just seems slow. I feel like there's a faster way.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would just walk out and not think about it any more than that.
This is the first time we're seeing these chests on this side.
Oh yeah, that's true. Christos didn't have the bow back when he did pot the first time.
I don't think it's going to be anything we really care for at all. I think we've already seen nets. Flute doesn't matter to us anymore. Well, there's 17 hearts for Espeon.
So I wonder what heart pieces Christos is still missing, since I think Amos had one, right?
Did he? I don't know if he did. Using the can of burner rather than transitioning away to reset those enemies. Ooh, that's kind of a nasty fall there.
Yeah. So that kind of negates the burner play in a sense. Ooh, almost gets knocked down again.
Now, since we're getting a bunch of questions about this in chat, yes, you can jump down to Ganon if you don't have all the crystals, but you won't be able to fully kill it. When you first fall down, he'll say, you can't finish unless you complete your goal. And if you continue the fight into the third phase, or into the fourth phase, he says, do you have wax in your ears? You can't kill me.
Yeah, so we always need all 7 crystals and defeat Agatu before we can hurt Ganon in his last phase.
Well, killing Agatu just to at least get the hole open.
Yeah. There was a heart piece.
So we know that he's missing at least one.
So we gotta ask him, which heart piece does he think he's missing? Maybe he didn't pick one up somewhere earlier.
If he goes to his menu sometime on the Overworld here, we can check. Because it will be on the inventory screen, I think.
I think you have to press select first, so it switches.
You might be right. That's unfortunate. I know that's true in the dungeons, but I'm not sure on the Overworld.
Yeah, we might never find out.
Well, we'll see if he switches to hookshot for some hook speed.
Yeah, I hope so. Almost gets murdered here by the murder bird.
Murdered as he sits at 19 hearts.
Alright, Espeon found his ice rod. He's making his way to Hammersaw here. Does not have to double the pod, but he kind of wishes he did.
Christos, please menu, please menu. Ah, we're not gonna see. We're not gonna see how many heart pieces he's missing.
See some ice rod shreds here to hit the switch in pod. I've never seen someone use the ice rod for that.
Yeah, it's a quicker menu than something else, although the projectile's a bit slower, so I'm not entirely sure if that's better. Having a little bit of trouble with the turtles, but gets through just fine.
Chris is already in phase 3 with the butter sword, making quick progress off Ganon.
And that's the thing about the butter sword. Usually you think, a sword made of butter? That can't cut through anything, but no, it's kind of the opposite. It cuts through everything like butter. Including giant blue pigs. 1, 2... Oh, not quite 3. But I guess he got one beforehand, so... That's the last of Ganon. While Espeon is getting his second to last crystal.
So I really hope he goes into T-Rock at this point.
And Christos finishes with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 20 seconds.
That's a pretty good time, in my opinion, for Overworld glitches.
Yeah, that's actually decent, yeah. If you can get under 140, that's a good time.
It looks like Espeon is heading up to Death Mountain at least, so...
Did he ever check the ether tablet?
I don't think so.
He's not correcting his camera. He's going to Pyramid Fairy, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have not seen that yet. Do you know if we could theoretically clip to the East Death Mountain side in this state?
No, you wouldn't be able to because your camera is wrapped down below. So you would either have to wrap up to hair and correct your camera that way, or if you transition, you're going to wind up in the river along the east side of Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So there's our B.
And here we see Espeon falling into a hole, and he's going to be in Houlihan here, which, once he exits, will be right outside Link's house. Just some cash. At this point, Espeon is kind of close by to where the... Where are you going, Espeon? Oh, he's checking escape now because he didn't do that earlier.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Did he check Uncle?
Did he? I don't think he did.
So that's just as we said earlier, a 1 hour 37-minute escape check. That's not a rare sight in this mode.
So sadly, he's not going to find the item he's looking for over here. We know he's got to go to Trinix, but that's probably the last thing on his mind. In the meantime, we are joined by our race winner, Mr. ChristosOwen.
Hello!
Congrats!
Thank you very much. I feel like I redeemed myself for my terrible performance this morning, so I'm feeling a lot better.
Yeah, there are fewer soft locks.
Wait, did I softlock anywhere? I probably did.
Well, 0 is still fewer than the ones that you had.
That is very true.
I think we haven't seen a softlock at all. Maybe in the Maya area we were not sure about that, like when you tried to get out of the Maya area.
Right after your Meyer Hut check, we thought you were going up to the digging game and village of outcasts and such, but you saved and quit before actually getting out of there, and we thought, did he get stuck?
Yeah, so my plan was originally to just leave and do digging game and like village of outcasts, but I don't know how to clip out of the Maya area from the top part. I need to get to like the swamp part. I only know like the clip that's in all dungeons, and I tried it like twice, and like I didn't get stuck or anything. I knew how to do it, but I was like, then I'm gonna have to just like run all the way around like 3 screens. I was like, this is bad. I'm just gonna save, quit, do something else, and then go like do King's Tomb, and then.
You never actually did King's Tomb, I don't think.
Oh, I did King's Tomb.
You did? Oh, I missed it then.
Yeah,
I
did King's Tomb.
Yeah, now I remember it, yeah.
I just didn't do Graveyard. I did it right after I saved and quit in Maya. I went straight to King's Tomb then, and then went to Kakariko to use the portal.
Yeah, but that's actually one of the sentiments that we echoed a few times in this seed is do what you're comfortable with, and since you didn't feel comfortable with that clip outside of Meyer, it was better for you to go off and do other things.
Yeah, like earlier I tried doing the swamp clip into ice, like from swamp area, and it's been a while since I've done that. I just wasn't comfortable with it, and then I hard locked and lost like 10 minutes or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stick to what I know. Like maybe I'll lose 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there from slower overworld routing, but that's a lot better than losing such big progress by soft locking when I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
For the most part, I feel like that was much better My clipping generally was a lot better than this morning. My routing was really good. I had to laugh when I found the bow immediately after finding ether, and it was from the mushroom.
Well,
the only reason I went there was to get a blue potion to YBA to Maya. So if I had flute or like in any other situation, I just wouldn't have bothered going to drop off my mushroom.
Well, the two of you went to go check the witch at about the same time. Espeon actually had to leave Turtle Rock, because you were both in there at the same time, but he had to leave Turtle Rock because he didn't have the Ice Rod from Palace of Darkness yet. So, he's still got to go to Trinix to get the Ether Medallion at this point.
Oh, wow, okay.
But,
okay, so he did... Oh, so he just never went to Palace of Darkness at all then?
Yeah, he didn't, not until he had the bow, unfortunately.
Oh, that's actually really surprising. Like, I deliberately make Pod one of my first places I check now in this mode. Okay, so if it doesn't pay off, like if it's a crystal, then, you know, you usually spend a fair amount of time looking for the big key anyway, so I feel like it's a pretty good play. And with Hammer and Lamp, I was like, this is good. The biggest thing I should have done is I had a bottle, I just didn't have a potion in it when I went to Pod, so I could have got locked out from the first chest. So I was fortunate to get a key there.
Yeah, I think I had mentioned that you could have bought one on the Dark World side of Death Mountain. There's a shop down at the bottom by Super Bunny Cave.
That would have been clever.
Yeah, it would have. But
I always forget
one of those
you
things
can...
you don't remember.
Yeah, I forget that you can buy potions from other shops outside of potion shops sometimes. And I forget that any potion will work, not just a blue.
Well, speaking of blue potions, there was one thing I kind of mentioned, is that you know about the spooky action glitch, right?
Yeah.
you know of it at least. You know that you can arm it with the flute duck.
Yeah, no, I know how to do spooky. Come on. I didn't even occur to do it with fake flute though.
Yeah, because the duck still shows up, and I tested it, and you get the same value if you do the same setup. So. Okay.
I mean, that was the last thing I was thinking of. What I was thinking is when I YBA over here, with like fake flute over here, and like which world am I going to be in? I was like, how many times am I going to have to go through the portal, and do I need to scroll the screen? Like that's what I was thinking at the time. Spooky was way down on my like thought process.
Well, I guess for future reference, you can know that now.
Yeah, that's really handy. Yeah, I mean, with how the items were, the seed could have been like breezed through really, really fast. Like if you'd picked up bow like early game, because mushroom was super early. If you actually picked up the bow and then you went to pod, got the ice rod. Okay, defeating Trinix is pretty bad. And like left side swamp also was kind of bad. GT
left side swamp was not bad. That had the cane.
Yeah, no, I mean in terms of being time consuming. Like these are bad places for items to have gone.
Okay.
Left side swamp, Trinix, they're pretty
Oh, by the way, we just saw another heart piece that Christos did not pick up.
Oh,
so that might be the one. Maybe we don't know. We've been guessing like how many heart pieces you were missing at the end of the game.
I'll check actually. Hold on.
Because you were at 19 hearts and actually collected another heart piece from the Amos Knights. There's one on Bombo's tablet we just saw.
And there's another one in the Bowlock side of Pod. So there's at most one other out there in the world.
Okay, I have one heart piece, so I'm missing 3.
Oh, there it is. No, wait. Did you check Ether? I don't think you did.
No, I didn't. After Trinix, I had Ether, so I was like straight to Maya via Potion Shop to get the blue potion, and then I was in game mode.
Alright,
so yeah, there
that
they all
are. Yeah.
So one was on Ether. Where was the other 2, do we think?
Bombo's tablet and Bowlock side of Pod.
Oh wow, okay. So Ether and Bombo's tablet had heart piece. That's funny.
It looks like Espeon is going for the smithy now, I think.
No, I think he just did that. He fake fluted to what is that? 7, and turned in the purple chest.
Okay, I missed that then. Looks like he's checking pedestal before dipping and doing the rest of the pendants here, or at least land molas, because he knows nothing else can be in desert.
Or maybe he miscounted items in T-Rock and thinks there's like nothing left in there. That would be quite unfortunate.
Honestly, though, the most surprising thing about this whole seed was GT having just nothing. Like, not anything at all. Not even a sword.
It had
So we were wondering why you put that off for that long, especially after you got like Hookshot and Hammer quite early. Then you got Kane, and I think you still went some other place like Ice Palace.
It didn't really occur to me to make it a high priority because there were crystal dungeons that I could clear. I went there as soon as I ran out of crystal dungeons. I could clear pretty much.
All right, yeah, I guess I can see that.
Yeah, so
like, I don't know. Like, I probably should like in general. I feel like this was quite lucky. GT didn't really have much. Like the way I see it is, there might be something in GT. Like I expected to find something when I went there and full cleared it. Maybe even like 2 things, but the probability of finding like everything that I needed and then being able to go mode all the crystal dungeons is so low. So I was just like, I'll just do the crystal dungeons. I'm probably going to find things in here.
And that paid off for you pretty well.
Yeah, like, I mean, this seed, but it could go completely the other way. I just didn't think to go to GT early.
Well, Espeon did, and unfortunately took a death to Ice Armos. And so we were saying that...
No, surely not.
we were saying that it's going to be unfortunate if Kane is behind them there, because he's not going to have a reason to go to GT at all for a long time, if that was the case. But then we somehow found it in Swamp.
So, what was C fighting Ice Armos with?
Fighter Sword. And
Fighter Sword and 6 hearts or something?
Yeah, he had 5 or 6 hearts at the start. He did have blue mail at the very
okay, that's kind of rough. Like,
it's
actually hard because of like the ice mechanics.
Yeah, he still had the sparkly bee in his bottle, but he never used it, much to my disappointment.
I love beam strats. I've been told there's like a Brian strat that kills them all really quick or whatever, but I haven't learned how to like actually do that yet.
Oh, I think Espeon is right. Bees don't target Armos. That's right, they only target Mothula in terms of bosses.
So, when Espeon died on Ice Armos, did he then go back through?
No, he left after that.
Okay. Well, I guess that didn't really matter too much in the end, because there was nothing. Well, I guess Big T was behind Ice Armos, so he had to go back through. But that was not like as detrimental a time loss as it could have been. The wasted time fighting Armos, plus like the extra half of GT to go back through to get the Big Key.
Yeah, the really difference was honestly you going into pod very early, getting that ice route that allowed you to kill Trinex. Like, other than that, you guys were kind of even, I guess.
And I think Espeon is using the last of his blue potions here.
I mean, 173, I think, was my item count. That's pretty high.
We're showing a 1. Yeah, we're showing a 179.
Yeah, I'm in Link's house now because I went to check my heart pieces. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty high. There's probably a couple of things which I just skipped because maps compasses or like I didn't fancy picking it up. So that's nearly it's like a 90% clear, I guess. But yeah, I did some practice before this race, and it definitely helped. Just my familiarity with a couple of things which I was weak on. I kind of just sorted those out. But yeah. I definitely need to learn some new things too.
Yeah, I noted your catfish to pod clip as something that you had basically just learned.
Yeah, see, that's like... I guess that ended up being pivotal to this entire race, because I wouldn't have gone to Palace of Darkness for a while if I didn't know like the catfish clip to the pod clip. So, yeah. Like, it might not seem like much, not knowing how to do like that specific clip, but then when it impacts your routing decisions, that's when these clips become really important to know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's not even something you need to know for logic per se, it's just one of those many shortcuts that exist in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like, generally speaking, most seeds, like in this mode, favor the person who can like chain together clever uses. So I'm really looking forward to like the top like few matches. Like I don't expect to be there.
Well, there's not that much tournament left, and you just tied it up here.
This is top 8, right? I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, there are people better than me. I don't deserve to win this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you defeated some pretty good opponents so far, if I can say that.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, mate. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, absolutely. It seemed like the competition's definitely a lot fiercer, because pretty much all of my series are going to like 1-1 and then 2-1, rather than 2-0 to one player.
Yeah, this tournament is packed with like really good players. So making it into top 8 is definitely very good on both of your guys' parts, I guess.
Yeah, and Espeon actually thought he was going to get knocked out round 1 by JC, but he then made it through JC, made it through Balyame, and is now up against you here and holding his own.
Oh, absolutely. In terms of playstyles, this seed definitely favored me. Like really early access to Hammer, Pearl, and well, Mitz, Pearl, and Hammer. Like that kind of makes a lot of Espeon's like clever glitching a bit redundant, and like shortcuts around the Dark World and stuff when I can just go and use the borders.
Yeah, remembering that you can still do stuff in the vanilla fashion is important.
Yeah, I feel like that's overlooked by a lot of people.
It is. You get too caught up in the fun of just jumping around the world.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't want to know how many times someone like did a Death Mountain descent with just having like regular Dark World access.
Yeah, oh, I did that twice this morning.
I forget whose race it was, but there was someone who just loved doing the Death Mountain super drop to go from there to Swamp, even though he had Hammer, Gloves, and Pearl and could have gotten there from a safe foot to Link's house. And I think he did it 3 times or something like that. Because, I mean, well, yeah, you want to have fun, you also do want to do the things as fast as you can.
I definitely think Overworld glitches is the most fun way to play this game, though.
I disagree.
Okay, you're gonna say like no logic or something?
Yep, that's my favorite mode.
I mean, if I was as good as you, then I'd probably feel the same. For my current like knowledge of the glitches, this mode's great.
I feel sorry for kind of obsoleting the work that you guys did for the major glitch logic, because nobody really likes to play that anymore.
I mean, it doesn't really matter so much. The way I see it is the major glitches logic, like, gave birth to the Overworld glitches logic in a way. Without that, we wouldn't have got kind of the interim one. So.
Yeah, that's true. So, and then we wouldn't be here.
I'm not sure we even need the major glitches logic, really. We could just have like the Overworld, like accessible glitches mode, and then no logic. That pretty much satisfies everyone.
We'll see once the next versions get released and see how the complaints roll in. Anyway, we have the final crystal from Misery Mire, and now all we've got to do is go beat Ganon.
So, anything else you want to add to this seed, or like maybe do you prepare in a special way for your last match? Also, when is that last match? Let me check. It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. I forget the time.
It's at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, that's not too bad for me. Like, I just genuinely forget like what time I organize things.
Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, so do you have like some different approach, or do you just do the usual, some new glitches learning like right before the match, and hope you can fit these in?
I'll definitely do probably like 2 or so hours of just like practicing random glitches and just trying to memorize things rather than like execution practice. I'll just do like glitch practice. Other than that, just nothing really. I've changed my start to do the South Loop. Well, not South Loop, but like do the island and then do Sahashala. Like I kind of like that route now, rather than going straight for Sanctuary. After I look back at a couple of my previous races, like I think one of the ones against Youthline actually, there was Moonpearl on the Helio Island, and I didn't go there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, there was the one where I got that like 3 seconds into the run, basically.
Yeah, and because I found other things in Kakariko Desert and then Death Mountain, I just didn't end up going there for a while. So I just want to get those early checks out of the way. Like in general, I'm really thorough with my Light World checks at the start. Even if there's like some really obvious plays, like Hera's beatable, I try not to diverge from just do Kakariko, South Shore, Ice Rod Cave, Sahashala. Just get it all done and see the lay of the land at that point.
Oh, I guess Espeon was a little bit too far on the platform there, and took a bit longer for the door to spawn. But he finishes with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 25 seconds.
GG's to Espeon. I'm glad he finished it out.
And with that, this particular race is pretty much done. Welcome, Espeon. How you doing?
I'm frustrated.
Yeah, well, good games regardless. I understand the frustration though.
Yeah, good game. I'm pretty sure that Ether was in the last possible location.
I think you're correct on that. Pretty sure you checked literally everything else.
I forgot that Trinix still had an item until I checked Ped, and I was like, okay, it's not Ped, so where else? And I'm like, oh yeah, Trinix has an item. I should maybe go back there and kill Trinix.
Yeah, just wound up being rather unfortunate for you there that Pod had the Ice Rod and you didn't go there until you had the bow, which wound up being after you had already cleared out T-Rock. Like, immediately after.
I was about to get the bow right before Ice Palace. I was like, okay, I may as well just do some of these one-offs that I have. And then I'm like, no, I can do all of South Shore, I can do Ice Palace, I can do Zora area. So I just decided not to do it, and that was not a good choice.
I think it was still fine from an item density standpoint, rather than going for the singular item at the Witch Shop, which would have cost an entire save and quit to do. You wound up just checking the South Shore instead and looping that into Ice Palace, which you had everything you needed to complete that.
Also, nice Mitsu acquired seed. That was funny.
Yeah, finding Mitts really early in Overworld Glitch is it kind of throws me a bit. I'm just not used to it.
Pretty sure that would happen to anybody who is rather familiar with the mode.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but honestly, from my point of view, like both of you guys always did like reasonable choices, like reasonable plays. Decision making was very good. Like there was never a time where you did questionable things and all that. So it kind of really was unlucky for you, Espeon, that Christos found the Ice Rod early and got the Ether Medallion right off the bat when he went to T-Rogue the first time, still looking for the bow. So that was pretty much the difference, I believe.
I think Boas Pod would probably be a better choice there, because instead of going into a pendant dungeon, you're going into a crystal dungeon. And Palace of Darkness is kind of one that you can go back to and finish without having to go through the whole thing again. So I have a bad tendency to try and avoid Pod until I have the bow, so I should probably stop doing that.
Yeah, that's where the major divergence came, was right after, right when you both checked Catfish. I think you were right behind each other at that point. You opted to go for Pyramid, while Christos opted to go into Pod, and that's kind of what did you in.
I arrived at the exact same conclusion as you, Espeon. Like, in my previous set of matches, I was like, okay, I'm going to stop delaying Pod and just go there if I have Hammer or Bow.
Now, if only you do that for GT.
Yeah, like I definitely should have gone to GT earlier than I did, but I always had crystals to beat. Like, I don't know, it's hard for me to go to GT when I can beat crystals.
Speaking of GT, 5-heart fighter sword. I almost don't do it. It's bad.
Yeah, I heard about what happens. That's really rough. Like, that fight when you don't have the bow sucks. Like, unless you have Brian or Beams, like any.
Also, here's the frustrating thing: is I got Bona about 10 minutes, not even 10, like more like 3 minutes after I died in GT on East Death Mountain, and I was kicking myself because I knew that I could have gone there before, gotten Bona, and then actually killed Isomos properly.
Oh wow, you must have dived GT super early then.
Yeah, I think he went in at what, like 15 minutes or something like that?
Yeah.
It was
like,
really early.
Right.
Damn, I don't think I went into GT until like an hour 15.
Well, you both delayed escape until well after an hour. So
yeah, I mean, I hope I can delay escape forever.
I did escape like looking for ether. It was terrible.
Yeah, I did that before Turtle Rock, so I was still looking for ether or bow at that point.
Oh, actually, Espeon, did you check the uncle?
I don't think so, actually.
Oh, I love that.
I think I totally forgot about it, because usually I totally forgot, because usually I do it in my opener, but I got gloves and I wanted to go to sewers, and then I got money, I think, so then I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to CAC now, because I have money, I have bombs, I have gloves for checkerboard, so why not?
Yeah, my decision making was exactly the same. I feel like in general we tend to make very similar decisions in terms of routing.
Oh no, another person, Baliame and I were basically running after each other the whole way of both of our seeds in the first round, and so that made for interesting games.
So yeah, also the same question to you, Espeon. Do you change something for your match tomorrow, or do you think you're good to go as it is?
I'm not really sure. There's not really that much I can like learn necessarily to prepare, because I pretty much know most of the applicable stuff anyway. But there is like just what do I think is a good route like against the particular person I'm playing. Maybe I shouldn't tell you that, but I I do alter my decision making based on whoever I'm playing after I get a feel for what they do in the first game.
Yeah, no, I do the same. I think while you weren't here, I said briefly, like in general, my entire start, I very rarely deviate from just doing a full clear of the light world.
Right, and actually I came up with the entire start of checking all of these little locations you can get out of the way early as a way to counter that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, and that really worked for you in the first game with Mitz being on, I think, Graveyard Ledge or King's doing one of them, and I just didn't go there, and that hindered me. So yeah, it's interesting. Like the problem is, I find it really difficult to think about my routing choices, because half the time I'm saying, okay, what's possible? Like what can I do? Not what should I do? Because just so many things open. It's hard to optimize your decisions. But yeah, I'm glad it got to a game 3 at least.
Yep. So game 3 is tomorrow, Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, and I think that's 9 p.m. Central European.
No,
It's 10, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 p.m. Central European. That's right.
Showing my ignorance as an American of the.
Though I don't know either, and I live literally really close by. Comparative.
No, 10 is correct. So
yeah, that's probably it from me. Just want to say thanks to like all the crew for everything. This is some pretty hot commentary, I'm gonna have to admit, with YouTube fading. So I'll probably watch back this VOD as I fall asleep tonight.
Sounds good.
all right, any last words from you, Espeon? I think this was about done.
My execution was actually not very good this seed. It actually was like okay, and then it got worse after Ice Armos dying, and then it got even worse after Christos finished. Because I was like, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. So I made like some stupid mistakes in Mire, which were very easily avoidable. So yeah, again, like we have really different strengths. Like, I do glitches, Chris does execution, and so it's interesting to see the dynamic. Except I'm really bad at execution, so I lose a lot of time to that. I think probably like upwards of 5-6 minutes, probably more.
I don't think you're as bad as you think you are.
Yeah, you're really not.
But I understand where you're coming from. Like all the minor time saves do add up over the course of a run. But then again, you have like the potential to make up a lot of time with better glitch routing and just execution of the glitches.
I mean, you took a game, so there's definitely a chance for both.
I can only take a game if Chris hardlocks. Please go hardlock again.
I mean, okay, I feel like you had a big enough lead over me that even if I hadn't lost the progress I did, you would have still been ahead of me. If I hadn't let that affect my decision making, then it would have been a lot more interesting. But yeah, like you said today, like after your Ice Armor's death, it's really hard to not let something that's happened affect what you do in the future. And it almost never benefits you to change from your initial, like how you would just play normally.
So yeah, I think we're done with this. Thank you guys for doing that awesome run. It was a pleasure to watch, in my opinion. Thank you, Magic Jade, for tracking. You did a fantastic job. And also thank you, Toyso, for commentating this with me. I had a blast.
Yeah, it was fun, Delane.
And yeah, I hope you guys are as hyped as I am for the Game 3 tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. You heard that. And thank you all for watching. And if you want to get involved with some Overworld glitches, check out like the different Discords we have. And yeah, I can personally just recommend this. It's really fun. And yeah, see you tomorrow, I hope.
Catch y'all later.
See ya.